there! Welcome back to my channel. So it's been about a year since I last did a Q&A. Wonder why. It's been about a year since I last did like a sit-down video, so here I am. What's up? Anyway, I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and I got 6 comments total, which is a little embarrassing, but like really what did I expect after not uploading for almost a year? I also put a sticker on my Instagram story and I got a few more questions, so thank you guys for all of those. I'm gonna go ahead and answer the questions from my actual post first as a thank you to those of you that actually commented. I will link down below timestamps for each question if you don't feel like wading through all of them, and I will try to make this as not long and drawn out as possible because my videos are super long and I know not everybody wants to watch that. But if you enjoy this video, please leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Also, if you hear my cat, I'm really sorry. I locked him out. He wants attention, otherwise he'd like be in my lap. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and answer the questions on my real post first as a thank you to those of you that actually commented on there. First question, can you do a series for girls like about car stuff we should know for our cars, because I feel like I've genuinely not ever been educated on stuff like that. That'd actually be really interesting. I don't know, I was gonna say, I don't know if there's an audience for that. I mean, obviously there's an audience of at least one out there, but I don't really know how I'd present that because I don't want this channel to be just like a how to change a tire, how to check your oil. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to doing something like that, but I also like don't want it to be just about cars, obviously. And like the car stuff that I do, I want it to be more interesting. But thanks for the suggestion. I'll definitely think more into that. Okay, I also got a few questions about braces. Yes, I do have braces. I had jaw surgery back in December, and I guess I got braces on the April before that, so I've had them again for over a year now. And actually, by the time this video comes out, they might even be off. I'm getting them off on July 1st. I had to have braces last year to like get my teeth in the right position to have jaw surgery. After my surgery, I had to leave them on for a few months to kind of like hold everything in place as my jaw heals, because they did actually cut it in half in 4 places, like 2 here and then like 2 up here, to like move my jaw forward. But I think it does look really good actually. I'm gonna be doing a whole video about my whole experience with braces and jaw surgery and everything, so if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned. I don't know when it will be, but I'm definitely gonna do that. I've actually had braces for 9 years out of my life, I think, and hopefully next week I will be done for good. Do you want to stay in Tennessee when you're done with university? Not really, and that's nothing against Tennessee because I do like Tennessee. It was a really good place to grow up, but it is kind of more of like a slow place. Like, I live in Knoxville, and Knoxville is I think like 3rd largest city in Tennessee, and it's fine. Like, I do like Knoxville, but I've always wanted to live in like a bigger city. Like, I could really see myself in Atlanta. I guess I could see myself in Nashville. I think if I did stay in Tennessee, I'd probably want to go there, but I'd really love to be somewhere like Austin, Houston, I mean any of those big cities in Texas, even Los Angeles. Like, I just want to live somewhere that's like larger and more fast-paced. But I could definitely see myself maybe like settling down back in Tennessee, but definitely after I graduate I would like to get out of here because I've lived here for 21 years now. Tips for incoming freshmen at the University of Tennessee. So I would, under normal circumstances, say really put yourself out of your comfort zone to make friends. I will be honest, I really didn't succeed that well at that. My freshman year was a really dark place in general, so I had even more barriers other than my normal kind of more like social anxiety, and more than like my general social anxiety tendencies. I did join the car club, and that was great. That was how I met Ben, and like I've made a ton of friends through that. And I did join a sorority. I'm actually in another sorority right now, which if you guys would like to hear a story time about that, I would be happy to do as well. Yeah, like I would normally say really push yourself out of your comfort zone to make friends and to get to know people, because that makes 100% of the difference. Also, don't slack off your freshman or sophomore years because you think you have a ton of time ahead of you, because you really don't. I will be a senior next year, and my GPA isn't bad, and I wouldn't really say I slacked because, like I've said before, I struggle with ADHD and sleep disorder and everything that makes school frankly hellish for me at times. I let my grades fall a lot. I think my second semester of my freshman year I made straight C's, which, you know, people say C's not that bad, but like I'm trying to get into grad school and like I feel like I almost had something to prove to myself, and I have spent the past year and a half like trying to pull myself out of that hole, and it has been really hard work. I feel like I've had to work like 3 times as hard just to pull my GPA and my grades back up. I actually made a 4.0 this past semester for the first time in my life, which I'm really proud of because I've always felt like there's kind of a disconnect between being told that I'm smart and that I can do it and I'm capable, and then like my actual outcomes, which usually results somewhere in the middle of me being told that I'm lazy and that I don't try, and obviously that's false. Like I'm trying as hard as I can, but I'm not seeing the outcomes. So like I don't know what it was. I think I like finally have gotten in the rhythm of like my course load and everything. But yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I've made the dean's list before, but like never actually made a 4.0. Anyway, I somehow turned your question into bragging, and I'm sorry. With everything going on right now, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, UT is going to be back on campus in the fall, which is good. Definitely, I want to say like social distance and wear your mask and still do that. Do as much as you can socially still, but don't put your and others' health at risk to do so. Yeah, okay. The last question from my actual post is, why did you decide to take so many classes this summer? And that's actually kind of a really good segue because I was just talking about Rona. Basically, my entire summer got canceled. So my 2 best friends go to school in Scotland, and I was going to go over there and pretty much like spend the whole summer there with them because one of them graduated, and so I was gonna go to her graduation and, you know, hang out with them and like and I still was gonna do like online classes, maybe like do an online internship while I was there. One of our other friends, his family has a house in France because he's actually half French. And so we were gonna go to the south of France, and I was gonna be in Scotland, and I was gonna try to go to Germany for a weekend, and all of that got canceled, all of it. I was also going to study abroad in Australia this summer, and that got canceled too. So I was like, okay, my card was full, so I apologize if this setup is different. Anyway, so since life has pretty much hit the pause button, I feel like it's almost, I want to say like it feels like, it does kind of feel like a period of waiting. It's like almost as if life has hit the pause button. Like my life is still going, but like I feel like life in general is just like stopped, and I'm just like, okay, like I've lost track of the months and the weeks and the days, and it's great. I'm really doing good. But I figured, I was like, okay, so if I, you know, all my plans are canceled and I'm just going to be at home because at that point like everywhere is still closed, like I still can't travel, I might as well try to get ahead as much as I can in school with the hopes to possibly graduate early, which I then realized there are 2 classes that are only offered in the spring. So I will pretty much be done with school in December, and then I'll have 2 classes in the spring, which will give me time to apply to as many grad schools and stuff as possible because I do want to go to grad school after I graduate. But yeah, I decided to take so many classes this summer pretty much just to get them out of the way and get them over with, since there's nothing else that I'll be doing. I mean, if I wasn't taking classes, I probably would just be sitting at home because nowhere is really hiring right now anyway, so like I can even get a job. I was possibly even going to have an internship this summer, and that also got canceled. So like if I wasn't doing school right now, I would literally just be sitting at home, maybe doing YouTube, but I'm still doing both, so. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the ones on my story. Are you still in a relationship? Yes, I am. Ben and I have been dating for 2 months, no. We've been dating for 2 years and 3 months, I think. Yeah, he's my man, my boy, my vlog helper extraordinaire. He's great. I would say we've been through our ups and downs, but like there honestly like haven't even really been any downs. It's been great. We're still going strong. I kind of want to do a video with him, not like the boyfriend tag, kind of just like don't know, like, see, I was gonna say, like, how do you meet, like, blah blah blah, like, that's so cringe. But like, I do want to do a video like formally introducing him, because I feel like I never have. He's just like in my vlogs. But yeah, I still am in a relationship. Okay, how did your semester end up going after going online? It was actually pretty good. Well, my professors pretty much were trying to figure everything out, and that was a nightmare. But like I said, I made a 4.0, so that was good. I actually really like the online learning format, which I didn't think I did before, but I think I've actually done really well with it. And it also helps that I live in Knoxville, so I have an apartment on campus, but I kind of like bounce back and forth all the time. And by bounce back and forth, I mean like I'll spend 2 weeks at my apartment, and then I'll just say like I'm going to my house for dinner for the night, and then I end up staying like another 2 weeks. And I text my roommates, hey, sorry, like I promise I'm coming back soon. So UT announced that we weren't coming back after spring break, so Ben and I were in Utah skiing. We got 1 day of skiing in before the resorts closed, and we had to rent a car and drive back, and that was fun. But yeah, I pretty much just like went straight home after that, and like I still haven't even moved my stuff back from my apartment. Like I got my essentials, but like the majority of my closet is still there and everything. But yeah, it went pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. What do you see yourself doing post-grad, or what would you like to do? So as I just mentioned, I really want to go to grad school. I want to get my MBA, mainly because I see myself kind of as more of a decision maker, and I kind of realized this during my internship last summer, which I really enjoyed, but a lot of it was just like putting stuff into Excel and doing, you know, like the boring work, which I get, like that's an internship, like that's fully what I was expecting. But I kind of also thought, like I saw what my supervisor did, like other people around me, and I even thought like I don't want to do that. And it's not as much that I like just want to skip that, because I know you have to start at the bottom of the ladder, but like the things that I found that really like excited me and that I felt really good at was like coming up with ideas and strategies and stuff. And I feel like having an MBA would really set me up well to actually like move on with that in my career, rather than just waiting a few years to like work my way up there. I actually really want to go to Emory in Atlanta for my MBA, which I think is kind of ironic because that's me. But like if you know anyone that would like to write me a letter of recommendation, hit me up, that would be great. I said that as a joke, but like actually if you do, I would really appreciate that, because I'm starting applications in just a few months and I'm terrified. Car question: M235i versus M3 as a track car. So if you saw my video from like last year, I used to have an M235i and I really liked it. It was a good car. It was a really good like everyday car, but it did kind of, I don't want to say struggle. It was not the best for like actual sporty driving. And its main Achilles heel, I will say right now, is the electric steering. I know people complain about it all the time, but it was that car's fatal flaw. Everything else was really good. I mean, the suspension was kind of wonky, but it was, you know, workable, and even, you know, you could do aftermarket stuff to fix it. But there's nothing I could do about the electric steering. And you're asking about a track car. I didn't really feel as comfortable tracking something that was turbocharged. I actually tracked my 335i once and it was fine, but they do have more of an issue with heat soak. So if I were to track an M235i, I would definitely recommend doing upgraded cooling and stuff. But overall, the M3 is pretty much like set up for the track. Now I will say, at my track day last weekend, there was an M235i there that like absolutely like whipped me. Like he was way faster than me, which actually kind of made me feel really bad, because I just knew that I would not be comfortable driving the M235 on track, and this guy was like out there absolutely killing it, and I was in my M3 like not doing nearly as well as him. But I think a lot of that does have to do with it being turbocharged, because he had so much more torque to like power out of the corners, and I'm not used to naturally aspirated. So yeah, I guess I didn't even mention, I sold the M235i back in late February, and I replaced it with the X5 and the M3. But I would say honestly either one would be really good on track. I personally prefer the M3, but I think they would both be really good options. But definitely test drive an M235i before you buy one, because I did not, And when I test drove it at the dealership, and the steering was like, oh, this is really smooth, it's fine. Then when I like got on some back roads, I was like, I can't feel a thing. So definitely test drive thoroughly to make sure that you actually like both feelings. How has your style / aesthetic changed within the year? So I don't know why I think about this all the time, but my style and aesthetic literally change by the minute. I don't know what it is. I'm like constantly recreating myself, like honestly, and it's so hard to pick one aesthetic. Like I cannot just pick one. I love the like cream and brown and neutrals, but then I also love like pink and teal and green and, you know, like bright like graphic colors, kind of like this vibe. So like I cannot choose one. I would say I have gone a bit more towards the kind of like neutrals and kind of more like a grown-up look, but like my style literally changes every day. I really recently been into the kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it, like country club mom, like Nike tank top with like the sweater tied over your neck. I guess that's preppy, like TT, I guess I'm still preppy at heart. I like that. Maybe also kind of like the hot camp counselor from an early 2000s Disney movie kind of vibe, with like the khaki shorts and like pink tank top. I don't know. Why did you decide to take a break? Also a general life update. So I didn't really decide to take a break. It just kind of happened, which I know is kind of a cop-out excuse, but I went up to Michigan and it was my first internship. Never worked a 9-to-5 before, and it was pretty overwhelming. Like I say, I have a sleep disorder. It was really hard to manage, like actually having to get up at the same time every day, which is already like a lot earlier than I do. Like I really want nothing more than to be a morning person, but I'm not. And so I was already like exhausted and I had no time, what it felt like. I'm sure I did have plenty of time, but it felt like I had no time. And I was already just kind of struggling with feeling burnt out. I guess I went in last year coming back with kind of the wrong expectations. What I thought would happen was I'd post my video and everyone would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're back. And then there would be, you know, a few other people, they're like, I can't believe you left us, like mad at me, unsubscribe. But like that would kind of be the extent of it. I mean, obviously I wasn't expecting to pick right up where I left off, but like I expected it to be a general, like, you know, upward trend, even if it was just a slight upward trend. But what it was a very downward trend. So yeah, like every single video I posted, I lost at least 50 subscribers. I was constantly losing followers on my Instagram, like not getting any exposure at all. And I was like, oh, well, people hate me. Yep, that's the only answer, is nobody wants to see my content. Which now when I think about it, I kind of feel like it's people like that forgot they're subscribed to me, like saw that I uploaded and were like, oh, I'm still subscribed to her, weird, like unfollow. So I was just really discouraged and struggling with burnout and managing my time. I was also like kind of depressed, like I don't want to say depressed, but like lonely, I guess is a better word, because I had no friends up there. Like my coworkers were great, I had a roommate, she was also great, but like I didn't have my family. Like I always forget, like I didn't go away for college. I wanted to, but I've lived in the same town my entire life. That was the first time that I'd ever been out of town for more than 3 weeks. So it was kind of just an adjustment, and I was already trying to adjust to the new version of me on YouTube and my new life, and it was really just overwhelming, and I kind of just got really discouraged and just like stopped, like didn't even think about it. Just like I do remember thinking when I was up there, like, oh my gosh, I really need to post a video, like I need to film today, I need to do that, and I just never did because I got so nervous. Also, it comes to a point where I like hadn't uploaded in like 2 weeks or something. I was like, oh, well, it's been 2 weeks, I can't upload now, and it's been 3 weeks, I can't upload now, and it's been a year, I'm gonna post a video. You know, like you just have to get over yourself, I guess. But this time around, I fully expected to just constantly lose subscribers, which is what is happening. I lost 150 subscribers yesterday, and that's fine, I expected it. But yeah, I think I just went into it with the wrong expectations. And like I said, also ADHD makes it really, really, really hard to be reliable and regular, but I'm actually enjoying it now. I don't know. we'll see. Hopefully this goes on for a while. Oh, you also asked for a general life update. I guess that kind of was a general life update. Yeah, leaving off when I went to Michigan, that was great, awesome. Came back, I moved into my new apartment. I've got 4 roommates, they're all great. I joined a sorority again. I really have been focusing on school. Ben and I are still together. Not that much else has changed, honestly. Like, I've just kind of been doing life, just been vibing. I've literally just been vibing. Yeah, that's all. The Office, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark? No, this is a very controversial opinion, but I actually really don't like The Office at all. I don't really think it's that funny. Like, I see clips of it or like memes and I'm like, okay, that's funny. But like, whenever I watch it, I'm just like, like I think part of it is that I really, really hate cringe humor, and the fact that there's like no music and like Michael Scott is so awkward. Maybe I don't like it because I see myself in him. Like, I'm obviously not as conceited and stuff, I hope. But like, I consider myself to be kind of socially awkward, and definitely I mentioned social anxiety earlier. So like in those social situations like that are like cringe, I literally am like picturing myself a lot. So I hate cringe humor. But I mean, Jen and Pam are cute, and I do like the memes. I would try watching it, and my sister is obsessed with it. So I guess I should ask her like where she would recommend starting. What is your dream job? My dream job is to be an influencer. I think I'm actually really good at it. Just kidding. That would be cool to actually make this a career, but I feel like it's kind of, that ship has sailed. Not to say I'm not gonna keep trying. My dream job, I would probably say, would be to do public relations. I'm actually taking a public relations class right now, and I actually find it really enjoyable. I remember when it first started earlier this month, I was reading the textbook, which is kind of like, what is public relations? And it was kind of saying like, it's the type of person that kind of like has to be like a jack of all trades and kind of like has to know a little bit about everything. I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. Because I've always struggled with like, how do I pick just one thing? Like, I can't do that. Like, I want to do 5 different things. And that's pretty much like what a public relation practitioner, as my textbook says, does. Also, I think I'm a pretty good communicator, so I think I'd actually be really good at it. I also would love to work for Porsche. I know a few people that work there and it seems awesome, and it's in Atlanta, so you know, if I went to grad school in Atlanta, next we'll hop over and it would work out really well in my dream world, of course. Yeah, I definitely would love to do PR in the automotive industry, which I find it interesting because PR is a female-dominated field. And then the automotive industry is a male-dominated field. So I almost wonder if it would make it easier or harder to do PR in the automotive industry. I know, I'm literally just thinking about that now, thinking out loud. Oh, how does it feel being a woman in a male-dominated industry? Okay, good segue, self. So it's actually kind of, there are like 2 sides to it. First side is, I will be honest, I do feel like I have a bit of an advantage simply because I am a woman. I can't deny that. And I will say, automotive companies do seem to be looking for women right now. On the other side, I have always felt like I have something to prove. I always feel like I need to prove that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm actually into cars. Like, I do know cars. I am a car girl. And I don't know, I feel like it's a lot harder to be taken seriously. I even remember, I think within 1 or 2 weeks of being at Car and Driver, I was talking to one of the older guys there, super nice guy, like I really do like him. I'm not saying this to like trash him or anything. And I like mentioned, I think it was like the chassis code of something that was like specific car knowledge, and he was like, oh, so you really do know cars? And I was just kind of like, yeah, I do, I was even introduced there as like, she's a, what did they say? Like, she's a through and through car person. Like, people when they introduced me felt like they had the need to like be like, she is a car person, not just like she's just like a person that happens to work for this company. I mean, I guess thank you to them for asserting that. Even like, this isn't in like the automotive industry, but like as I mentioned, I was at a track day last weekend, And at one point, I had an instructor riding passenger with me, and like here I am hauling my car at 120 miles an hour down the back street of Road Atlanta, and he says, "So are you into cars?" And I wanted to be like, "What do you think?" But I was just kind of, "Oh, yeah." Like, that's the thing that I'm talking about that I feel like I have to overcome. It's like there's just this general assumption that like it's my boyfriend's car, or you know, I'm just doing it because I got this fancy car and I feel like I need to do it, or I'm just doing it for attention. That's one of the major things that people say about car girls, and it's really annoying. Not to say that there aren't girls out there that are doing it for attention, because there are sometimes. But that's just the kind of sort of sexism that we put on each other, because there are tons of guys out there, more guys. I can think of like 3 guys that I know personally that are doing it for attention. But yeah, just like, I'm rambling like crazy right now, but overall it's fine. And like, I know that I can fend for myself. I'm confident in my abilities, even if I am a bit more timid. I definitely have to put myself out there a lot more than I think I might in other industries. And so I think that's all the questions. Well, that's almost every question that I had, but that's all the questions that I'm going to answer for today. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications so that you don't miss any uploads from me. I'm gonna try to do more normal sit-down videos like this now that I think I've like relieved a lot of the pressure from myself. Hopefully you can even tell in this video, like I seem more natural. Like, I'm definitely more comfortable in front of the camera right now than I have been before. I've also had coffee, so yeah. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, like I said, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also follow all of my social medias. I'm going to be doing a thrift with me and a thrift haul soon as my next video, actually. So look forward to that. But other than that, I will see you guys next time. Bye!